All right, last thing. The Tom Brady controversy. A lot of discussion about him being in the booth on the headset on Monday Night Football for the Raiders, which, by the way, just to remind people, he doesn't do that every week because he's usually working.
Right.
But people asking about the conflict of interest, we've brought that up on the show many times here, as the Fox broadcaster who he had limited access last year to players and coaches and interviews. That has been eased, those rules.
Yes.
So there's some access there, but he's also a minority owner for the Raiders.
Yeah,
Limited partner for the Raiders.
There were all these rules that are there for owners so that, you can't just go and watch somebody else's practice or whatever. The same thing coaches can't do, right? There's a reason Spygate was a controversy because you can't do stuff like that. You can't just go and spy on an opposing team's practice, et cetera, and get all that information. You can't do that if you're an owner either. Now, Brady goes and sort of throws a wrench into the whole works by becoming a minority owner at the same time as being a journalist and a broadcaster, where those guys typically do get all that kind of access, right? Chris Collinsworth, Mike Tirico, they go watch practice as part of their weekly setup. And, so the league's like, what do we do now? This guy should be doing all this, but he can't because the rules prevent him. So last year you had this farcical situation where Brady basically couldn't do 90% of his job and just had to go out there sight unseen and just talk whatever. So this year they got, you know what, that's kind of silly. Let's ease the restrictions a little bit. Let's let him do some of this stuff. He still can't theoretically go see practice, et cetera. There's still a bunch of stuff he can't do, but it is a direct and pretty clear conflict of interest. It was one thing when you could say, okay, he's a minority owner of the Raiders, but he's not really involved at all, right? He's just a minority owner. And every now and again, he'll go, a training camp and say, hey, I'm Tom Brady, rah, rah, and everybody's happy. But when you then see a picture of him sitting there in the booth with a headset on, it's that's pretty involved. Even if he's just listening in and offering nothing himself, it's quite direct involvement.
But that's what seems to have put people over the top. But I don't think that changes anything.
Oh, it 100% changes
It's either a conflict of interest or it's not.
All right, that's enough of that, Steve. It's come to my attention that only 40% of people watching this are actually subscribed. So hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel a ton, and we appreciate it hugely. Now back to Steve.
And if you think it was, then, yeah, you could assume. Because the broadcast said, he talks to Chip Kelly 2 to 3 times a week. It's what? That was what people were responding to. He talks to Chip Kelly? It's yeah, he's allowed to talk to Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator. He's allowed to talk to people on the team. He's one of the owners. Just because somebody said it doesn't mean that it changes the implications of whether or not it's a conflict of interest.
But it shows you very directly how it shows
Every report has already been out there that he's involved with the team.
Yeah, but this is all it's basically direct evidence of people's worst fears. What could happen? It's if Brady does X, Y, and Z, this is where the conflict is. Now it's here's pictorial evidence. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Here's visual evidence of the conflict. Is coming up. The Brady is going to be commenting. Is going to be doing the color commentary in the booth for the Cowboys and the Bears in week 3, right? The following week, the Bears are playing the Raiders. So it's the guy's first job is literally teeing him up to help his second job, which is a competitive advantage. It should not be allowed, and yet the NFL has just put themselves in this weird bind where they've kind of allowed it, and the rules don't apply to Tom Brady because we've decided that.
That's the only thing. I forget, what was the eased access that he has? He still doesn't have practice access, right? It's more being able to talk to coaches and coordinators.
He can talk to those guys. It's got to be via Zoom or remote or whatever, but it's still.
So now those guys also know, hey, we're playing the Raiders in 2 weeks. I'm not going to say much. I'm going to be pretty generic. So.
Right, which is just adding to the stupidity of the whole process. He is, aside from anything else, again, Fox doesn't care because Fox is not employing Tom Brady because Tom Brady is good at anything. They're employing Tom Brady because his name is Tom Brady. So it doesn't matter to them that he's going to have less information than anybody else in that position because they know. Sean Payton, you think Sean Payton is going to tell him anything of consequence?
No.
Knowing that this is a competitive advantage? No, of course not. So you know that. And that should annoy people as a matter of principle, right? You are watching a broadcast, if you're watching a Fox broadcast with Tom Brady on it, knowing that he is less informed than any random Joe put in that position because of this whole, well, the rules don't apply to Tom Brady. That's just silly.
Yeah, there he is.
There he is. There's
in
Tom.
the booth.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
And the all-knowing algorithm is convinced you'll also like these videos, and who are we to argue?